Hello heroes and adventurers, this is the first ever episode of the Midnighty Show. In this show, I will talk most about nerdy stuff like TTRPGs, tabletop games, card games and much more. My name is Eric, and in this episode I would like to talk to you how I got into the hobby of TTRPG and my first experience with it. So lean back, grab a drink and let's dive right into how I got into TTRPGs. So how did I get into the hobby of TTRPGs? Well, I've always been an avid fan of fantasy, sci-fi and all that jazz. I loved fantasy movies such as Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, Star Trek. When I was younger, I liked to play in the woods with my buddies, pretending to be heroes, orcs or whatever. We would make these worlds in our heads. We would make wooden swords, attach strings to bend sticks to create bows. But one day, my father, which he would always tell us, me and my sister, that is childhood stories of when he was young, playing this game where you could go on big adventure, creating your own characters, slaying dragons in damp caves, fighting vampires in spiraling towers and so on. This catch my attention. As a young, fantasy-loving boy, I would ask if we could buy it. So, a few weeks later, we got to the store and we bought the first ever role-playing game I owned, D&D. Well, the Swedish version that is, which was called Dragon and Demons, or Drakar och Demoner, which is not like D&D exactly, but that's for another episode. So the first time I played TTRPG was back in 2011. So for the absolute first time, me and my sister played, and my father was the DM. I think I played a dwarf warrior born from steel and was there to bring his family honor or something like that, quite a cliche. And my sister played an elven hunter from a deep forest within the world my father has created and was lost as a child, but a human woman found her and raised her. It was a more original idea than my, let's just say that. As it goes, we started our journey on a cold, rainy noon. The sky filled with clouds and an unsettling feeling stirred in the air. We were seated in a bar around a table, as many TTRPGs have begun before. I think we introduced our characters to each other, as we had gotten a letter quest of some sort, but I can't really remember though. We began our journey by stepping out of the bar, but that would not go so smoothly as we thought. A frenzied guard dog ran up to us, barking aggressively, as my sister, the poor soul she is, tried to calm the frenzied dog, but just got her hand bitten and infected. As for the guards, I think vaguely that her and my dwarf parents had been executed before us, and we shouted something stupid. We were kids back then and didn't understand that our actions in the TTRPG had consequences. We had, as stated before, only heard stories from our dad that when he and his brothers were younger, they played with a cousin, which were the DM. They went on this epic quest, slaying vampires and dragons, so me and my sister thought we could just steamroll anyone. But no, we got defeated pretty fast, and the guards dragged us through the muddy ground down to the cold prison. In the cold cell, we sat and pondered how we could escape this freezing hell, and so my sister came up with an idea that we could lockpick the prison door, for she had a small clip in her hair. So we tried, and it worked. Probably because my father fudged the roll in our favor. When we played, and he was the DM for the first 5 times, I think, he would insist on rolling our dice until I found out by either reading the rule book or watching other play that the player had full control of their own dice. After that, I mostly DM'd. Anyways, we got out of the prison without alerting any guards and fled through the calm and mist that had settled over the town and the nearby vicinities. That's sadly where it ends. We would always start new games with different characters and never really see any mid to end game. We never fought a big bad evil guy, but for what it was fun as hell and brought me into the world of role-playing games. I have a lot more stories of other times we played and many of my own DMing stories, which frankly wasn't good until 2019. I hope you enjoyed my talk. I'll be sure to make more, and in the meantime you could go and give me a quick follow on my Instagram and go to my Patreon and donate so I can keep this show alive. Thanks for listening. My name is Eric, and I will bring you more Midnight Talk.